Welcome back to Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle, a cooperative deck building game, which is a very long title, but it's quite fun. And we're playing game 3, which is of course getting a little more complicated. We have two villains out at the same time. It seems like the dark influence, or the evil influence on the locations is coming out more rapidly than before, but we have some better cards to help us out. And each of our characters, Harry and Ron, now have special abilities. So let's begin. We're going to start off again with Ron. First thing we do is reveal a Dark Arts card. Our location says we reveal one Dark Arts card, so that's what we're going to do. What do we have for the Dark Arts card? We have a Game 2 card, Poison. All heroes choose one. They can discard an ally or lose 2 health. Well, Ron or Harry here has Hedwig. He could discard Hedwig or lose 2 health. I think he's going to choose to lose 2 health. So Harry's going to go from 8 health right down to 6. Now Ron's hand, we have to look at that. Ron has no ally in his hand, so he doesn't have a choice. He's going to be losing 2 health, 8 down to 6. So both of our heroes are down to 6 now. That's not really good. Okay, on to looking at the villain abilities. Active hero reveals the top card of his or her deck. And the top card of Harry's deck is not costing, or does not have an influence value. So this is not going to trigger. Each time influence is added to a location, remove an attack from all villains. That's not going to happen. All right, up next we're going to have Harry playing his cards. So I'm going to change my battery. We're going to come right back. Have Harry take the rest of his turn. All right, the batteries are in, and Harry has his 5 cards. He has, of course, Hedwig. He has a Low-Marha, Quidditch Gear, and a Low-Marha. So he, should he be healing or should he be attacking? I think we're going to continue on with the attacking. He's going to use Hedwig as 1 attack, and Quidditch Gear gives him 1 attack, and he gets 1 health back. So he's going to go from 6 health to 7. And that's going to give him a total now of 2 attacks. 1 for Hedwig, 1 for Quidditch Gear. And then he has 3 influence for the Low-Marhas. So 1, 2, 3. That's what he has to play with. So he's going to put both of the attacks onto Pettigrew. So that's going to now take him to a total of 6. Not enough to knock him out. But let's hope he doesn't regenerate. And maybe Ron can take him out on Ron's turn. We have 3 influence. And I think Harry is going to get this one, which is the Finite. Remove 1 evil influence from the location, because that will trigger his special ability. So he's going to purchase that card, costing him 3 influence. And now we are at the end of the turn. So he's going to return all of his cards, drop 5 new cards, and we're going to be replacing this card with Lumos. All heroes draw a card. Game 1. All right. So I think, again, we've done everything correctly. At least I hope I have. On now to Ron's turn, and we'll see what happens. Okay, up next is Ron, and we start off, of course, by revealing 1 Dark Arts card, and this looks great. Expulso, active hero loses 2 health. So this is not good. Ron's going from 6 health down to 4. Now we have to check the villain abilities. Active hero reveals the top card of his deck. And Ron's top card of his deck is a 0 influence card. So that Pettigrew's effect will not trigger. So that's excellent. We haven't had him trigger yet. Lucius Malfoy, each time influence is added to a location, remove an attack from a villain. That's not happening. And let's not forget, Ron has a special ability as well. It says, if you assign 3 or more attack on your turn, any one hero can gain back 2 health, including himself. All right, Ron's turn. He's going to be playing cards. And he has Low-Marha, Lumos, Low-Marha. So we can play the Lumos, which is all heroes draw a card. So he's going to play that. He will be drawing himself a card. And then Harry will also be drawing himself an extra card. All right. Excellent. Carrying on, so now Ron has played this card, which let all heroes draw a card, and nothing else triggers strangely. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4 influence for his Alomorhas. 2, 3, and 4. He also has his clean sweep 11. Gain an attack if you defeat a villain. Also gain an influence. Well, that's excellent because he gains an attack. We will be defeating Pettigrew because he has 6. This is going to be 7 attack. He's defeated. So Ron, clean sweep 11, he will gain 1 more influence. So that's pretty good. And we have eliminated Pettigrew. So we're going to throw him away. He is gone off the board. 7 damage. He's defeated. But of course we have a huge stack of other villains to come out. And we still have 5 influence for Ron to spend. If I've done his influence correctly. So yeah, 4 plus 1 for defeating the villain. So he has 5. What does he want to spend 5 on? He can get the Nimbus 2001, which is probably pretty good. Or he can get Butterbeer and Essence of Dittany, which is all healing abilities. And I think he's going to do that. He's going to buy the Butterbeer for 3. And it allows him any 2 heroes each gain an influence and a health. So for 3, he's purchasing that. And the other 2, he will buy the Essence of Dittany, which is also a healing. Any 1 hero gains 2 health. So he's got a lot of healing now in his deck. And end of his turn, discarding all tokens and cards that you have left. And we're going to have to refill, of course, Hogwarts with some more cards. Wingardium Leviosa, gain 1 influence. You can put items on top of your deck when you acquire them instead of into your discard pile, costing 2 influence, and another chocolate frog. Any 1 hero gains an influence or a health back, or if you discard this, you gain 1 influence and 1 health, costing 2. All right, so far so good, I do believe. And now, end of the turn, we have to bring out another villain. And what's our next villain? Tom Riddle. For each ally in hand, active hero chooses 1. For each ally, you get to lose 2 health or discard 1 card. Oh, and we didn't get the reward. We didn't get the reward for defeating Pettigrew. All heroes may search their discard pile for a spell and put it into their hand. Okay, that would have worked for Ron. Harry doesn't have a discard pile. Oh man, this gets kind of... Okay, I'm going to try to fix this. It just should not be too hard to fix. All heroes go with... So that's not going to happen for Harry. But it will happen for Ron. So we're going to do that first. Ron then had in his discard pile... Well, his discard pile... he had just... Well, Alomorha. Does he want to... and put it into your hand. The only spells he have were Alomorha in his discard, which would give him 1 influence, and he spent his 5. So the 1 influence, and then he's going to have all cards discarded anyway. So it's not really going to have an effect. So let's say he puts that into his hand. It's going to give him 1 more influence. He can't spend 1 influence on anything, and it's just going to be discarded. And he's going to have to reshuffle to draw anyway. Okay, that takes care of this reward part, putting a spell in your hand. And now it is remove 1 influence from the location. So we're going to take an influence off of here, which will then trigger Harry's ability. The first time influence is removed from the location each turn, any 1 hero gains an attack. And so we're going to give the attack... Then Ron would gain 1 attack. If you assign... Oh man, this... And of course now it's getting complicated, but I think I've got it right. So Ron would gain an attack. And so this is going to be Ron's 3rd attack, but he wouldn't have been able to put it on Riddle because Riddle hadn't come out yet. So he would put the attack on Lucius Malfoy. He is now assigned 3 attack on his turn, and his ability triggers. If you assign 3 or more attack on your turn, any one hero gains 2 health. So Ron would then gain himself 2 health, going from 4 health up to 6. I think that is going to cover off the reward, which I almost forgot. I'm pretty sure I did everything correctly there. At least I certainly hope so. Up next, we're going to have Harry taking his turn. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, now we're back to Harry's turn. I'm pretty sure everything's straightened out. At least I hope it is. First thing we're going to do, of course, is draw 1 Dark Arts card. And it is, well, okay, Expulso. Active hero loses 2 health. So Harry's going to go from 7 health down to 5. Now we look at the abilities. Each time, or sorry, let's do riddle first. For each ally in hand, the active hero chooses one. He loses 2 health or discards a card. Harry does have an ally. Oh, and hang on, he also has the invisibility cloak. If this is in your hand, you can't lose more than 1 health from each Dark Arts or villain card. So the Expulso, which would have done 2 damage to him, is only going to do 1. So he's going to go from 5 health back to 6. I'm giving him 1 health back because this is in his hand. Again, I've got to remember all the triggering of all the abilities. So now Harry has a choice because of Tom Riddle. He can either discard 1 card, or he can take 2 damage. And I think he's going to discard 1 card. He might as well discard the invisibility. Well, it doesn't matter. He'll discard 1 Aloha Morha. He had 6 cards because he got to draw an extra card on Ron's turn anyway. Okay, that's Tom Riddle's ability. So we've looked after that. We didn't add an influence to the location, so that's Lucius's ability is not going to trigger. So now Harry gets to play cards. So the invisibility cloak basically going to give him an influence 1, 2. So that's going to be, say, 2 influence there. Trying to keep everything intact. So the firebolt, gain an attack. If you defeat a villain, well, it's not going to happen. So we're going to play Fox the Phoenix. So we've got a choice here. We can either gain 2 attack or all heroes gain 2 health. And I think we're going to go ahead. I think all heroes are going to gain 2 health. So Harry's going to go from 6 health up to 8. Ron is going to go from 6 health up to 8. Then he's going to play his Firebolt, which gives him 1 attack. Defeat a villain, gain an influence. Not going to happen. Going to gain 1 attack. And it's finite. Remove 1 influence from a location. So if we're going to remove the 1 influence that's on Hogwarts Express from a location, and then we're going to check Harry's card. The first time influence is removed from a location each turn, any one hero gains an attack. Well, Harry will then gain an attack for that. So the bottom line is all we have here is 2 attacks, 2 influence. He's going to put the 2 attacks. I think we're going to go and put that right on Lucius. We're going to start getting rid of him. He's got 7 health. Or should I split it up a bit? No, I think we're going to concentrate on Lucius Malfoy. We've hit him. Harry has 2 influence to spend, and I think he is also going to get a chocolate frog. So for 2 chocolate frog, any one hero gains an influence and a health. If you discard this card, you gain an influence and a health. Chocolate frog, Harry has bought. Okay, I think now he's played all of his cards. We've done all of our stuff. He's going to discard all his cards. Any tokens he had left over, drop 5 new cards. And then we have to replace, of course, the Hogwarts card that we just bought. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Replacing the Hogwarts card. Hope I'm not making a mistake. Another chocolate frog. So we've just seen that, so we know what that's all about. Okay, and again, I'll leave notes if I do things wrong, but I think I haven't messed up yet. At least I hope not. Up next, we're going to have Ron taking his turn. And once again, because things are taking so long here, I think we're going to end off the episode with Ron's turn, because once again, I'm trying to catch any things I do wrong without having so many turns go by that I can't correct anything. All right, up next, Ron, final turn for this episode, and we'll see what happens. Okay, Ron is up next. And we managed to get all the influence off Hogwarts Express, so that's pretty good. One Dark Arts card coming up, and we have Petrification. Didn't Ron get this last time? All heroes lose a health and cannot draw extra cards this turn, and he gets to draw 5 cards at the end of his turn. All heroes lose a health. Ron's going from 8 to 7, and Harry's going from 8 to 7. And cannot all heroes, and no hero can draw extra cards this turn. All right, we're going to look at abilities now. For each ally in hand, the active hero chooses one. He can lose 2 health or discard a card. Let's see what's in Ron's hand. He has an ally, so he has a choice: discard a card or lose 2 health. I think Ron has a lot of healing ability coming up, so you know what? I think he's just going to go ahead and lose 2 health. He's going to go from 7 health down to 5. We didn't add an influence to a location, so Lucius Malfoy's ability is not going to happen. So we basically just have to remember we cannot draw extra cards this turn, and we don't have anything that draws extra cards anyway, so we're not going to worry. So Ron will start by playing his Chocolate Frog. Any one hero gains an influence and a health. Well, he's going to play that for himself. He's going to gain 1 influence. He's going to go from 5 health up to 6 for the Chocolate Frog. Then he's going to play Pigwidgeon. He can either regain 2 health or get an attack. I think he's going to use Pigwidgeon for 1 attack. We want to start beating down these villains. His Clean Sweep 1000, he will use it for an attack. If you defeat a villain, which is not going to happen this turn, get another attack, and 2 Alomorhas for 2 more influence, for a total of 3 influence, 2 attack. We're beating on Malfoy, so we're going to put 2 attack on Malfoy. That's a total of 5 attack. 2 more will knock him out. Ron has 3 influence, which is not the greatest, but he's a fan of chocolate frogs, so he's going to spend 2 influence to get a chocolate frog. Any one hero gains an influence and a health back, and if you discard it, you get an influence and health, costing 2. He has 1 left, but of course there's nothing you can do with just 1 influence. So now it's the end of the turn, which means discarding all your cards and any tokens left over. These just go away, and discard many cards, and then drop to 5 new cards, and of course we're going to replace this. So Ron's going to draw 5 new cards. Okay, I'm going to get that set up, and now we have to replace the Hogwarts card with a new card. And we get an ally, Oliver Wood. Gain 1 attack. If you defeat a villain, any one hero gets 2 health back. So that's not a bad card. Good one for Ron because he has Bertie Bott's every flavor beans. Okay, slightly shorter episode, but once again, I'm trying to keep things under control with all the permutations of things that are happening now. And how many attack did Ron put on that turn? I think he only put on 2 attack. Did he not? Yeah, he only put on 2 attack, so no hero gains 2 health. If that's incorrect, I'll leave a note. But I think Ron only did 2 attack, didn't he? He did 1 attack for the Clean Sweep 1000, and yeah, 1 attack for Pigwidgeon. So his special ability, of course, which we have to keep in mind, is if you assign 3 or more attack, any one hero gains back 2 health. Didn't quite trigger this time. Alright, so thanks for watching along. This is Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle. We're playing Game 3. It's a cooperative deck builder. I quite like it. And as you can see, the complexity is ramping up a little bit more. This is only Game 3. Of course, it goes to Game 7, which I'm sure my brain will probably explode when I try to do that playthrough with so many permutations, combinations. And I do believe you have 3 heroes out, or 3 villains out at that time. Probably even multiple locations. I don't know. It's probably going to be totally insane. So thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your subscriptions, your comments, your likes. Really appreciate it. This is Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle. We're playing Game 3 with Harry and Ron fighting the forces of evil. So join me next time for the continuation. Thanks a lot for watching along.